All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Mr. Deadman DT. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Kino Casino, but I'm also not a huge fan of iDubbbz. So this is going to put me in an interesting position here. But iDubbbz is coming out swinging, trying to go at the Kino Casino. Does he have what it takes? Or is it just going to fail? I'm going to look at this objectively, okay? Look, I know PPP's history. I know Andy Worski's history. That's why I think they're a bunch of clowns and all that stuff. But iDubbbz is a massive cuck. iDubbbz is just spineless and weak. And there is a reason why everyone has turned against him. There's a reason why the guy is like, he doesn't have any real support at all. Anyway, let's get into this.
Their hate videos. There was never a bonus. I never spoke to these losers about a bonus. If you're gonna be a hater-ass bitch, take it the full way. By the way, the background is a work in progress, so you can just tune that out. Today.
By the way, let me just say, the whole tone here, color-wise, being brown, it just looks like poop already. It is, right? Okay, anyway, enough of that.
Today, I'm going to be doing the thing that everyone tells you not to do, and that is feed the trolls. One of the more important things that I want to talk about is my relationship with Anissa. I love Anissa. I love everything about her. I've only grown to love her more with time.
You love an OF. Can I say the whole thing? She's a skank. She's a skank. You could smell her from here. Okay, it reeks.
And a lot of people online don't see it that way. For me, it's very obvious. I thought
because you look miserable in that relationship.
People would be able to catch on. I am quiet, stoic, not talkative. She is the opposite of that. She is loud, very talkative, social. People struggle to understand that dynamic, I think, especially me being a person.
I wouldn't call him stoic. I would say he's beaten down and submissive, right?
Who has made a career of talking online. So yes, Anissa will oftentimes, like in many relationships, be the more talkative one. We've been together for nearly 10 years, and all of it has been online for the public to see, and there are still people accusing her of cheating, accusing me of being in an abusive relationship. None of this is true. And there is no evidence for any of this except, like, I guess, body language experts coming on and being like, iDubbbz is being stoic here, therefore he's in hell.
Okay, hang on. Watch the change there. Watch the change.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I have never gotten.
Look at
that. Doesn't look stoic to me. Backed it up. That looks like a what?
Change. I don't know what the fuck that was. I have never gotten.
That looks like iDubbbz just smelled a fart right there.
Look at Ian in this moment. Oh my god.
Like, he looks sad. No, he is disgusted at her. He's depressed. He's so disgusted.
Working on.
He looks.
No. Let me say this. PPP and Andy Worski are outright clowns. Like PPP is a lolcow in his own right, for sure. So is Andy Worski. Aim. What about that stealthing condom thing, right? What about the texting a 15-year-old in Texas wanted to meet up with her? That stuff is outrageous and weird and gross and should really... I don't know how he gets support. Do PPP and Andy Worski overanalyze and to the point to where it's like beyond ridiculous? Of course they do. It's part of the reason why I can't stand the Kino Casino, man.
Disgusted with this.
He looks so uncomfortable. He's like, should I be here? He looks so uncomfortable. Look at this guy's body language. He doesn't want to be there.
Look how miserable he looks. Dude, he looks miserable. Dude, he looks like he wants to kill himself. In that video.
I mean, I kind of want to kill myself now. Okay, so they're not a fan of the resting bitch.
I mean, it's easy to, like, overanalyze images. Anyway.
Face. All right, well, I'm not going to smile all the time, fellas. And even when I smile...
Because you live in misery.
You guys still, like, contort it into he's so uncomfortable or he's smiling through the pain.
Burn.
Oh, he's so uncomfortable. He's smiling on his face.
What?
But inside his eyes, you can see his pain.
I mean, it kind of looks like it, though. It does. It looks like you are smiling through the pain.
For some reason, well, not for some reason, for the reason of sexism and people's view on OnlyFans and them just not liking Anissa, they want to push forward a narrative that she is actively and continually cheating on me.
Well, it's not because of sexism. It's not because, well, it might be because people don't like Anissa. It's because she is. Because she's a skank, dude. 100%. Everyone's had a ride. Everyone has a ride. She's the game that everyone has played, okay?
And if you listen to freaks like this guy I'm about to show, it makes sense why. They are obsessed.
Anissa wants to have sex into having sex with Anissa. I think he wants to bang Anissa. Anissa was horny and wanted to have sex with this therapist. Well, Anissa figured herself to it.
Yep. Do you think that makes
I mean, here's the thing. It's not just PPP and Andy Worski this. You can get this commentary from a lot of guys, especially guys who kind of like know people who know the situation. And they'll tell you all sorts, like Anissa, like monkey branches, dude. Oh, yeah, Anissa's known for this.
her pussy wet?
Buddy,
Did
was she getting
stop?
plowed?
That's what I'm saying.
What we're describing here is two grown men who are fantasizing about a stranger and his wife and what they do in the bedroom.
No, what they're saying here is that they're pretty sure with 99% certainty, 99.99% certainty that Anissa is cheating on you. Okay? And it's probably right. It's probably a really good bet. I'll take those odds.
Or don't do in the bedroom. That is creepy, weirdo shit.
And here we have iDubbbz with the bull, folks. There's iDubbbz with the bull.
He's
Okay. All right. Like I said, Kino Casino can overanalyze. What's the word? Hyperbolic, retarded commentary. Yeah. The dog being the bull. Come on now. Come on.
With the bull, folks. There's iDubbbz with the bull.
He's using sexualized terms to describe a picture of me and my dog. And what are we doing? So many people will tell Anissa and I of just like,
Well, it's coming from PPP, who he can't even poop right, dude. Like, if you listen to his roommate Surfer, his ex-roommate, ex-boyfriend Surfer, drunken Surfer, he had to clean PPP's the toilet after PPP used the restroom, and then it was just like diarrhea dumps. Okay, and it makes sense. PPP's so fat. I mean, it just makes sense, man.
don't feed into the hate. And it's like, okay, we're going to post some normal stuff. Anissa posts just me with a picture of my dog, and this is the type of commentary we get about it.
iDubbbz with the bull. Gorgeous Gabe plowed her in the back room of the salon. 3-hour bukkake session with all of the male stylists.
If you're curious about the hairdresser these guys are talking about, I will point you to my disgraced boxing coach, Michael
I mean, right now, I think iDubbbz is playing highlights from the Kino Casino right now.
Briggs. For some reason, this stupid fucking loser and his dumb as rocks wife decided to go on the H3 podcast. They already spilled their guts. They were getting paid like $5,000 to go on this podcast.
I'm going to be sending you guys $5,000 for the bonus that you never got.
I think they were maybe afraid that they wouldn't get the money if they didn't thoroughly trash us. So them maybe thinking that
they thoroughly trashed you because you guys were horrible to work with. I mean, there's a reason why Creator Clash 3 failed. I mean, it was a cluster. I don't know all the details. I kind of slept on a lot of that stuff. But I know, even I, who's been under a rock playing Final Fantasy Tactics still, even though that game is ancient, know that was a train wreck, a absolute disaster.
Weren't trashing as hard.
One could even say maybe a fraudulent scheme, but I don't know anything about that.
Enough. Michael Briggs decided to invoke the name of one of his presumably friends and say that Anissa was like thirsting after him.
She definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them, because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. Yeah, even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very
Anissa's
into it.
thirsting.
For whatever it's worth, every time...
Because that's what Anissa does, man. I've never even met her, but from everything I've heard, that's exactly who she is. And she had an OF, dude. She had an OF. You can't turn that into a housewife, dude.
Michael Briggs, my disgraced boxing coach, would reference Gabe, he would always refer to him as Gorgeous Gabe. He couldn't help but refer to him as Gorgeous Gabe on the podcast.
I would call him Gorgeous Gabe.
He's a beautiful guy.
Yeah, he's got tattoos, he's large, he's tan.
I don't call him that. My wife doesn't call him that. If you have some unresolved sexual tension or fantasies, whatever the fuck it is, you need to keep that shit to yourself and not...
This is coming from the cock. All right. I'm sure Anissa has other names for him.
projected onto other people. I wish the best to Gabe. Michael Briggs, on the other hand, absolute fucking creep weirdo. Now,
Okay.
I know a lot of this is very grotesque and obsessive. I would prefer if people didn't talk about me and my wife or other people in this way. I briefly want to talk about the
Optics and
concept of
morals.
being a lolcow, because these fucking losers, they love the concept.
I mean, it's kind of low-hanging fruit right there. It's PvP and Andy Worski. But then again, I think everyone from that sector has definitely had a lolcow moment for sure. For sure. I mean, they come from a very dark sector.
Of like labeling someone a lolcow and then like bullying them and watching their life spiral out of control. They won't, you know, say as much. They'll just be like, yeah, we just do it for laughs. The whole thing's entertainment. It's just a, you know, just an innocent guy.
Yeah. It's the internet equivalent of like tabloids. It's YouTube tabloids. That's all it is. It's like, look at what these people are doing. Look at what iDubbbz and Anissa are doing. Oh, look at how they're failing. People love this stuff. This isn't anything new. Isn't anything remarkable. Even back in the ancient days, I'm sure everyone was talking about everyone else's dirty laundry. Because you could see it hanging there and it'd be like, damn.
It's just having a laugh. Thankfully, Anissa and I are in a much safer and privileged position than many other people who are the targets of guys like this who want to bully them into submission. So now I want to look at two different clips from these guys. There is the fat one and his cohort who are listening to Anissa describe, like, essentially having a hard time online, seeing people mock and make fun of her dad with Alzheimer's.
They were laughing at my dad for getting sick on some of these forums.
What did you think? What did you think? Because you shared it online?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what people are gonna do because they want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Now that does cross the line with me. I'm not gonna make fun of someone's like dad for having Alzheimer's or whatever, but
they probably even really believe the stuff that they're saying, but they know because it's extreme and like edgy that it will cause you mentally spiral like this. So that's why they do it. And you're telling them that it affects you. So guess what? They're going to keep doing it. This is how the internet works. It shouldn't be, but that's how it is.
Even PPP is drawing a line right there. That's coming from the man of sin himself, dude. He's like sin incarnate, okay?
Time, he is not saying that he is a perpetrator
He's like a villain from
of
Spawn.
bullying her. What he's saying is that other people are doing that. But he is doing it actively. In this video, he is bullying Anissa. And in other videos, he's literally bullied and made fun of her dad who has Alzheimer's.
With a late-stage dementia patient.
Oh, never mind.
Who is an extremist Muslim. And he sees his daughter covered in tattoos, married to iDubbbz the cuck. And he just freaks the f out. iDubbbz is having to take him on walks through the neighborhood, talk to this demented guy.
So this is something that he's very familiar with. But for some reason, in this moment, he refuses to take any ownership of the fact that he is part of the problem.
Like, that's what people are going to do because they want to get a reaction out of you. So that's why they do it. And you're telling them that it affects you.
He doesn't want to admit it, and it makes you wonder why. And we get a little window into that at the end of the clip.
This is how the internet works. It shouldn't be, but that's how it is.
He says in this moment, it shouldn't be. Why the fuck do you think he says it shouldn't be? Could that be because it's wrong and it's a mean, evil thing to do? To acknowledge that someone is suffering and deciding that you are going to attack them online continuously for the thing that they are, either insecure or struggling with? It's plain as day that he's part of the problem, but he fucking refuses, like a coward does, to take any responsibility for him being part of the problem. I don't think a lot of these commentators...
So it sounds like he's trying to say that they're coping with it when this whole video is a cope.
channels want to be held to a higher standard. I think they want to comment on the strategy of things, and they don't want to reveal too much of their own morals or principles. This next guy is the perfect...
The Kino Casino has no morals or principles. It's a freaking Kino Casino. What?
Perfect example of what I'm describing. He is being very critical of me talking to a therapist. And by the way, that wasn't even a therapy session. I just happened to cry in that moment, and I was like, this might be able to communicate authenticity, so I'll include it.
And then Ian goes on a podcast with a therapist and gets extremely real with him, which is a profoundly stupid idea. Like eating with your mouth full on camera. He of all people should know better than to go on a therapist's podcast and vent about his very real problems on a public forum like that.
You shouldn't make your therapy sessions public. Don't do that. I don't have a problem with people, having a therapist, but you don't need to make that public. Don't make that public. Don't do that.
Because people will use that information against him.
Yeah.
Like this.
The same person live streamed his own therapy session where he actually cried.
If you're going to be a hater-ass bitch, take it the full way. Take responsibility.
But you did that. You didn't have to make that public, but by you making that public and making it like a thing on YouTube for people to all look at, you think people are like, oh, that's so great. No, people are going to mock and ridicule you. Okay? Dang, it's pretty obvious.
Responsibility for having the opinion that crying online is pathetic and weak. Don't say I am the enlightened centrist and other people are going to make fun of you for that.
Because people will use that information against him.
People will use the information against me. Who's people? I'm pretty sure you're people. You're the one who's playing this fucking clip. You're the one who's making this video called the most toxic wife. I don't know why these fucking pussies don't accept the full troll mask. They're acting as if being sincere is impossible to do online. It's not impossible. It's difficult in the situation that Anissa and I are in, but we're making that choice intentionally. So
there's no problem being sincere, but like we're talking about a therapy session, dude. We're talking about like something like that. Come on, it's different.
Making this bold claim that we are like unaware what happens when Anissa talks about her dad who has Alzheimer's or me crying. Like, we're very aware that that is going to be viewed as gay and be made fun of by people like you.
It sounded like he was about to cry there. And you know what? I'm forgetting the context of the crying therapy video. Didn't the therapist himself kind of say that he kind of felt like he was being manipulated?
Now I'm going to react to a couple of these random creators who have made videos or statements about Anissa and I.
All right.
Just to give you a taste of what an average is.
Okay.
And additionally, like in making some of those videos, it just attracts a certain type of person where they're like, I'm going to list off a bunch of people I consider lolcows or people who are mentally like disabled. And I'm going to tell you to make fucking documentaries about them. And then in that case, like, I'm not fucking doing that. You seeing that happen right now with World of T-shirts. There's a lot of people who think they're like doing it responsibly or respectfully. And it's just hell. It's just like, what the fuck is any of this shit?
Bro, what is going on? Anissa legitimately convinced him his entire being as a person is bad.
Did I once say my entire being is bad? You're allowed to be critical of yourself and the content you're making. You would benefit from being a little critical of the content you're making. Like, what the
But your content shifted once you got involved with her. So, yeah, that's why people think she definitely had influence, a lot of influence.
fuck is this? Like, actually comment on what I was talking about. Do you agree or disagree with a statement that you should be making videos and documentaries about people who are mentally disabled because you are encouraged by your fan base?
You yourself are probably mentally disabled. You allowed a skank to shame you into changing who you are, Ian. It's still in you. But we're not getting that energy. We're not getting the old iDubbbz here. We're getting the new reformed cuck.
To do so. Do you agree with that? Maybe engage with the prompt.
And fellas, and even fellettes, all right? Never, just listen up, all right? Never let your partner actually change you this much. Never let them convince you that you are so bad as a person, like everything you do, the way you act, everything you believe is bad, and you must agree to their way of life, everything they do. Obviously,
why do you think that she thinks everything I do is bad? I'm like, man.
Because she's always critical of you. Like every podcast that you guys do, she's like criticizing every little thing you do all the time. It is like the hate Ian, hate iDubbbz. Like it's just, she uses you as a punching bag, dude.
These people have fucking drank the Kool-Aid to a disgusting
Worse than a punching
degree.
bag. You're like
obviously, if there's
shower
legitimate
mat.
criticism taken into account or whatever, but this is legitimately tragic. He cannot be proud of a single thing he's ever done in his entire life. He just feels guilty about all of it because of Anissa.
Dude, I'm proud of plenty of things. I'm not just going to go on stream and declare it. Like, what do you, like, it's so boring.
What are you proud
like,
of?
I don't want to talk about
What could
how
you possibly
proud
be
I
proud
am
of?
Of making the Airsoft Fatty documentary. Like, do you guys really need me to fucking bloviate about how I really enjoyed following the narrative structure of a fatty battling with his friends in Battle Creek?
It was my opinion that some of your content in the past was actually good before. It was actually logical. You made some good points. You don't need to feel so bad about every single thing. You know, maybe you did some bad shit. You said some slurs. That shit was bad. Whatever.
Dude, I know. I just, this is so frustrating. I just want to say, like, a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about are going to be upsetting, or they're going to be a downer to you, because that's interesting. I don't know if it's because I have a higher threshold. It kind of feels like I do, right? A lot of the things that these commentators are commenting on is they're saying like, oh my gosh, that would crush me, basically, if my wife described me in that way or said that about me.
Yes, especially when it's like consistent, like all the time.
And it's like, okay, it would hurt you. You're feeling bad through me. You think that I'm feeling those same feelings that you're feeling. I'm not.
But you're getting this from a lot of different commentators, a lot of different people, especially small channels that are like, they're not connected with whatever, and they would probably do better having like a counter narrative, to stick out. But there's a reason for that. I think the average person who sees this is like, oh, what's going on here?
Of like good shit to your content as well. You're legitimately, fighting against like evil people and shit like that.
Because I'm sensing this guy as being his own version of sincere, because I honestly think I don't know how old this guy is, but I'm going to say a teenage commentary YouTuber. I'm going to say that their version of sincere is going to look very different than mine. I'll take what I can get right now from this guy. When I'm giving my actual authentic take about something, you don't need to put the blame on my wife. You don't need to say that she's controlling me. This is very off base. People who are in relationships, they communicate, they talk. This is just the reality of getting in a relationship and becoming more enmeshed. Like it happens. If we eventually have a kid together, like, it's very important that we're on the same page and that we communicate. I know it might feel like you have some outsider insight, but it is just very wrong. I feel very free to speak my truth. Yeah, I agree, Bri.
Do you want to know why this shit makes me so mad? Because there was a point in time back in OnlyFans season 1 where I was like, dude, iDubbbz is the fucking man. Such a chill guy. So down to earth. Loved meeting him in real life. Loved playing games with him. This guy was the fucking man.
I think Tectone is remembering this in a kind of a weird way. It seems like he's very nostalgic. And
yeah, a lot of people are.
He's being very over the top of how epic I was. But by this time, everyone had like decided that Anissa controls my life and that I'm a beta male soy cuck boy. So it actually
Tectone
is
also
very
bought
funny
himself,
that he's
right?
coming out now saying,
Is that what's going on?
Man, he was the man just 2 years ago. It's like, dude, the fucking cat was out of the bag 2 years ago. Also, it's weird because I didn't play games with him other than we were in the same guild. I don't know. I think he's just...
You don't play games with him, but you were in the same guild? Sounds like you play games with him?
Just trying to add on to this narrative that the internet likes of, man, he used to be so awesome. He was so cool. And then he fucking got corrupted by that fucking bitch.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite content creators of all time. And to see that this is what he became. I mean, this guy inspired me to do content. Like my breakdowns on people's entire character was inspired by iDubbbz. And it's so lame. Like to see what one woman's pussy and Hassan can do to a motherfucker is insane to me. And if he just would have remained true to himself, he wouldn't have ended up this husk of a man he is today, and probably would have way more viewers and wouldn't having to be making content that he hates for money. It's just
this is such fucking cope, man. Like hearing Tectone say it,
but he's
it's
right
just
though.
Like it's reminding me how many times I've heard this fucking script. These people cannot fathom that the based epic N-word guy has changed his mind over time. It's got to be a woman's pussy.
Not about the
or
gamer
Hassan.
words.
I think if they accept that I came to that decision on my own, they have to reckon with some demons of their own. Like it's hard to accept the fact that I've taken this journey and it's not one I regret. It's actually one that I've felt better after doing.
And
But look at where the
right.
journey
This guy
led you,
is
right?
Such a disappointment. Like iDubbbz calling people incels when the first woman he met literally destroyed, like took over his life and destroyed him, dude.
I don't know if this is your own theory or if it's just like implanted in your brain from all the other hate videos, but Anissa is not the first person or not the first woman I've met. I've met plenty of other women. She's certainly not the first.
Wait, hasn't he said otherwise though in the past?
First woman I've dated. And certainly not the first woman I've had sex with. But I will admit that she is the first woman I married.
Lying on that one. I wouldn't just call it lie. I mean, I believe he's lying there, right?
Also, there are a lot of grown men out there who were outraged to find out that I changed my last name from Washburn to Jama when I married Anissa.
Who took his wife's last name, taking Anissa's last name, taking your wife's last name.
He's taken her last name.
And that's when the castration was finalized.
Last name?
The last name, the story.
was
Okay.
complete.
Oh, yeah, there's so many. I forgot.
I think some of these people think I'm trying to push a woke agenda or some shit.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck what anyone does with their own last names. This is what I chose to do because I like
Because you're not a man. You just cut your balls off and gave it to her. Gave them to her. Yeah.
her last name better. When my rancid boxing coach and his wife decided to go on the H3 podcast as like this mutual exchange of talking shit about Anissa and I in exchange for $5,000, that was sort of under the premise that I owed them some sort of bonus money.
Yeah, I mean, like we were also promised a bonus on CC1 and we never got it. But because Michael was so nice, he didn't want to like make Ian feel uncomfortable and ask Ian and Nisa about it.
And I was always under the assumption.
He should have asked. If someone promised you money, you should always ask. What? And was it written? Did he have a written contract or anything?
That there was no bonus because even though he told me there was a bonus, he then disappeared for 6 months and I never saw him. So I was like, was there a bonus or was there not a bonus?
There was never a bonus. I never spoke to these losers about a bonus.
We weren't there. You know? But I don't believe iDubbbz here.
I was paying these people an hourly rate to do the job that I asked for them to do, and they got paid. This fucking loser with the beard got paid $32,000 for training an influencer to box, and she got paid $9,000 to film some of it. They conveniently never talked to either one of us about it.
You confronted about that? You asked them, or you didn't want to
I just let it be.
Because I'm the same.
They conveniently don't have any text messages or emails or contracts that have anything to do with bonus money.
Guys, verbal agreements, you got to cut that shit out, man. Have it in writing. Have it in writing.
Because that conversation didn't happen. They're lying to Ethan and
especially
his
when money's
crew,
involved.
And they're lying to the audience.
How is it that we put on this great event? We raised $1.3 million for charity, and he promised us a bonus. And then right after the event, he just kind of pretend like he's too busy to check in with us.
Too busy to...
And also had time for a gala. What? All that charity money went to having a party.
Check in with you. I don't need to fucking check in with you. You're not my parents. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You weren't promised a bonus. I was doing my own shit. Why the fuck would I want to spend my time with you when I'm filming a show with Dax Flame? You guys are fucking losers.
You confronted about that? You asked them, or you didn't want to
I just let it be.
Because I'm the same.
If it was promised to you, if this imaginary bonus was promised to you, that should give you a lot of confidence to at least say, bonus? That's potentially a lot of money for you, you know, in this fictional scenario where you were promised a bonus. Surely it makes sense to at least inquire.
I don't remember all the details, but he should have asked.
If it was promised to you, right? Because I'd been consistently paying you day after day for all the work you were doing. So if I never missed a payment for you and your wife and a bonus was promised at some point, then don't you think it would be pretty fucking obvious and apparent that you should text me, hey, what about that bonus? Of course, but there was no bonus because you're fucking lying. Like, fuck these crooked people. They came...
They're crooked? Wait. Who hosted a boxing charity event and the money didn't even go to charity? Like, multiple times, right? Like is that what we're talking about? We're talking about Creator Clash, right? Wow. And they're the crooks? Man, you guys had a party. You guys had a party with all your friends. Man, that money could have gone to kids with cancer.
Came on this podcast, they use this bonus thing as some sort of like weird exchange of like, yeah, we can't go on the podcast and just talk blatant shit about our clients. So what we're instead going to do is pretend like we were stiffed by our clients after they promised us a windfall of cash. There's so many other truthful things that they could have focused on the podcast that would have made me look like a bitch to a certain, you know, sector of the internet.
So there was more.
Those things being me crying after a tough sparring session. Like, that's truthful.
Did you say he cried?
We had to have a meeting.
So after that, he was crying at the gym.
It's okay to cry, but it's not okay for him to cry. Now, to the crew of the H3 podcast, I have something important to say. I think you are all pieces of shit. All right, everyone, that is...
Well, I think we know your opinion on that. But who's winning in that war, right? So this is... The video is called Coming Clean. What it is just massive cope. Yeah, if you do your therapy sessions online, people are going to laugh at you about that. If you try to turn a skank into a housewife when everyone seems to know stories about her monkey branching and doing all sorts of stuff, you made your bed with that one. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah. That's iDubbbz.